Hi, everybody. I want to tell you about this book I read. It's by John Maxwell, well-known leadership expert, self-help expert. It's called Developing the Leader Within You. If you don't know him, this book sold over 750,000 copies, and he was the best-selling author of the book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership and Failing Forward. So chapter 1 is called Influence. And I'm going to tell you a few things about that. It says leadership is the ability to obtain followers. The question we should ask ourselves is, what kind of influence will you be? There's different levels of influence. The first one starts off with because you have the title. The second one is because you have people give you permission. They work with you because they want to. Third one is because of the production that you show. You produce results. Number 4, people development. You empower people. And 5, people don't follow. They follow you because the highest level is because, like after a long career, people follow you because they see all the great work that you've done and the type of person you are. So that first chapter is called Influence. Number 2 is priorities. Working on priorities, he says, working on and identifying what is the top 20% of whatever it is. When you look at your problems, when you look at whatever it is, identify the top 20%? What's in the top 20%? Those are the things that are your priorities. What are high importance, high urgency? We have to identify what has high importance, high urgency. Priorities continually shift and demand attention. So something that might be a high priority at the beginning of the month may not be at the end of the month. We have to continue looking at that. Don't spend too much time on small goals, big goals, then the big goals will suffer. Next chapter is called Integrity. He says simply integrity is when your words and your actions match up. There's no discrepancy in who you are. So like who you say you are is what people also see, the example they see. They said real leaders must be authentic. Next chapter is creating positive change. And it says everything rises and falls on leadership. To get change, the leader must first be the first change. If you want to continue leading, we must continue changing. We must continue evolving as time goes on. Resistance to change is universal. So there's always going to be resistance to change, he says. But we have to get through that. Change, there's a 4-step cycle. Create, conserve, criticize, then change. He says, don't just say, but do. Next chapter is called problem solving. It says your problem solving skills will always be useful because problems will always occur. So as a leader, if you have the ability to solve problems, that skill will always be useful. He says, just remember, there have always been times like this. Okay, there's always been problems even in the past. There's problems now. Problems create, what do problems help? Problems help to create that creative tension that is needed to come up with new things. Stumbling blocks can be looked at as stepping stones. So problem solving. Problem solution. He says a step process. There's a problem, solution, find a plan, own it. Identify the problem, think about the solutions, form a plan, then own the plan and make it happen. Okay, next chapter was called Attitude. More important than anything, he says. Attitude is more important than anything. He says attitude is a daily choice. No matter what's happening around us, we can always control our attitude and how we look at it. He says a leader with the right attitude, leaders know that if they have the right attitude, that they'll set the right atmosphere. He says that everybody's going to go through a storm, but how they choose to go through the storm it has to do with attitude. The next chapter is people. Lead others to lead others. Okay, leading people is you have to lead others. Develop skill in making others feel important. So one of the main things he says is that people want to feel appreciated. So you have to make them feel important. Help others become successful. You have to always be asking ourselves, how can we do this as leaders? How can we make others successful? He says, always remember, people are the principal asset. The next chapter is called Vision. All good leaders have a vision of what they want to accomplish. Vision creates mission and becomes contagious. Vision plus leader plus work equals movement. Continually pass the vision to others. Your vision as a leader can become contagious. Leaders know vision must be done. Leaders, it's not something we think must be done. It must be done, our vision. Self-discipline. It's the number one responsibility is to own discipline and of our own selves and our own personal growth. Leaders must pay the price. Greatness equals personal responsibility. Staff development. People development is the highest calling of leaders. People development. Develop a team that increases production. Boost the self-esteem of others. If you boost the self-esteem of others and they feel great, they'll produce better. So once again, this was a book called Developing the Leader Within. It's written by John Maxwell. That's basically what the book was about. Once again, influence, priorities, integrity, creating positive change, problem solving, attitude, people development, vision, self-discipline, and staff development. Thank you.